lot in wrestling, okay? And it's also used a lot in MMA, whether you realize it or not. Whether I use it offensively to his hands and knees like we just did, or whether the guy takes a shot and I sprawl. So we're gonna go both ways, okay? And the first one, I'll just show the normal front headlock. So if we're here and we're pummeling right, my right arm is the lead underhook, my right leg is forward, right? I shouldn't be with my overhook leg forward, I'm off balance. So once we get to this position, whether you're right side or left side, my lead leg is going to take a step outside, right? So I'm wrestling with Shay, okay? I'm going to take a step, like an outside step. With my lead leg, as I step outside, I'm going to snap. So the underhook arm that's over top, right? I'm stepping across. As I step across, I'll pull the head and I'll pull it tight. Now, just like anything, guys, in any sport, everybody does things differently, okay? Blocking is fine, but for right now, we're not going to do that, okay? I'm going to have one hand on his chin. Again, my arm is not deep. I'm not choking him. If my elbow's down, it's easier for Shay to get out, right? So I want to have my elbow shallow here. Once my elbow is shallow and I'm hand on his chin, my elbow is pinned here, right? In Muay Thai, your elbows are out. In MMA and boxing, your elbows are more in, right? So I want to be sealed off. Because if his head comes to the outside, he can get behind me or he can take me down. So once I snap him down, his head goes right here in my body. My elbow keeps it there. My shoulder is pressuring into him. The leg that is forward, right, or the hand that's on the head, that leg is forward. It's not here. I'm leaning into him. If Shay moves right now, I'm going to fall over, right? But because we're wrestling and grappling and he's pressuring into me, I have to be, if I don't do that and I stay square like I just saw and he shoots, I got nothing to stop him. So that shoulder is very important. And lastly, my other hand is in the armpit. Not at the elbow, not at the wrist. At least for this specific thing. Okay, I'm here tight. So once I get to this point, look, my feet are staggered, my shoulder's leaning into him, my elbow shallow, hand on the chin, other hand here. If Shay's giving me a bit of a look, right, I want to be going, circling to the side I have the hand. So as I'm circling, right, and we're wrestling, I'm going to pull him towards this leg as I take it away. And once I snap him, I don't stay on my knees. I get my weight back into him. If I snap Shay down and I stay like this, he's going to take me down. Okay? So for that split second that you hit your knees, as soon as I hit my knees, I've snapped and boom, he goes down, I get my weight back into him. Okay? The first one that we're going to do is just good old-fashioned, like the most basic thing that you can do, but I still use this to this day. It's basics are what win things, right? So he's on his hands, he's strong. What do I want to do? I want to put him to his elbows or his forearms. So what do? I snap him to me and to the left because my left hand is in his armpit. Right away, I don't relieve my pressure with my shoulder. I keep my pressure into him. My hand comes from the chin, over top. I get to his crotch. If I come to the hip, this is okay, guys, but depending on the level of your opponent, they can scramble out of that, right? But if I come to the crotch, it doesn't matter what JJ does, or Shay, it doesn't matter what Shay does, okay? I get behind. So the first time you do it, you're going to do it from this position, over and under. All right, we're moving, I pull, I snap him down. You may have the underhook or you can switch to the overhook, it doesn't matter. But once he's here, I put him onto his elbows and his forearms. Block, block, go behind. Okay, does everyone understand that? Make sure, once that I get his head down, okay? The hand that's on the chin, shoulder goes to the spine. Right where his shoulders, right, his traps are, that's where I want my shoulder pressure. Here, my feet are staggered. If Shay shoots into me, right, I'm shoulder pressuring. Not he shoots into me and he does that and he gets to my legs. Okay? And lastly, my other hand's in the armpit, and I'm squeezing all of these together. Okay? Then I snap. If he's on his hands, which he may be or he may not be, if he's on his hands, put him to his elbows, block, get his foot behind. Get behind. Now where I can start to punch, and I can start to improve my position to try to choke him. Okay? We're just going to stick with that one for right now, and then the next two we'll do together once we actually have the guy down. 2 different finishes. All right? Everybody got it? On 2. 1, 2. Hey, I was going to do this the last time, but we'll just add it in now. We're going to stick with the same thing. I don't want you to just start on your knees. I want you to practice getting there. So again, like we just did, right? I step my underhook side out. As I step out, I pull the head down, and then I snap it down. Okay? For this time, okay, we're also going to add, so 1, you start on your feet, and you're snapping down, and then the second time, right, Shay's going to take a shot. I'm in my stance, he shoots, I down block, okay? If you guys have been around myself or Brad or Shay or Frank, we use this a lot, okay? If Shay shoots from this far away, right, all I got to do is I can frame. But now once the distance changes, right, and even if we're this close, right, and he's punching and he shoots, I have to take my hand from here and down. In wrestling, right, I can use my hand to down block. If Shay shoots from here, I can use my hand to down block. So it's the same concept when we're in an MMA fight. I don't want him to be far away and throw a fake, and then I go to down block, right, and he takes my head off. So you have to be aware of where your distance is. Okay? So again, about in this range, the guy shoots, I lower my level, right? My lead leg goes back, my lead hand goes down to create space. When this arm comes down, I want about from my shoulder down to where my elbow is, that bicep. That's where, once he shoots, this is where I want to be. Okay? But if I just down block when Shay shoots, and I don't take my leg back, well, he's going to still take me down, right? So I have to take my leg back. I have to have that pressure stopping him. So one more time, he shoots, I down block. I'm here. All I do now is my lead hand's already down, chin and shoulder, and I snap. Okay? So if you guys are having trouble, we'll come around and help you with that part. But now once we get here, okay? Once I'm here, again, when Shay's on his palms, he's strong. So before I go around, I want to put him down to his forearms, right? Then I go behind. It's the same thing if I want to choke him. As soon as he comes down, he's on his palms, right? He's strong. He's strong, he's fighting my hands, his chin's down. But now when I snap him, he comes back up. That's where I can go for a submission. So regardless of whether you're choking him or going behind, you have to break his base. Okay? So now the next one, I'm on his chin, same way. My shoulder's in, my free hand in the armpit. Okay? Every time I'm snapping Shay, he's going to try to square with me. Right? It's hard. I can't get behind him. Okay? So I'm going to give him 2 or 3 snaps. And then as I'm ready to go and he's trying to play catch up, I'm going to just shuck him by. So as I'm snapping. And guys, make sure we're circling to the side. We have the armpit, that hand. Once I'm ready and I feel like he's really trying to square up with me, I'm just going to take his chin and I'm going to shuck it away. And my elbow goes, palm of his chin is there. He's playing catch up. I shuck it by and I get behind him. So slowly, once I'm here, right, I got my pressure going into him. I'm snapping, he feels his base. I'm snapping, he feels his base. I'm snapping, and I shuck him by. Okay? On the second or third attempt, once we do that, he's going to come back up, and you shuck him by. So if I do it fast, right, I'm pulling, I'm snapping, I'm pulling, and I get behind. Okay? All I'm doing is maneuvering his chin past me right away. Then I'm going to secure, the back, right? And guys, when I secure the back, just because I've seen this a few times, when you get behind the guy, don't do this. Don't have your hand around his ribs up here. Don't be up here. if Shay just circles away from me and swings his arm in, he's gonna reverse me. Okay, when I get behind the guy, whether I stay this way or this way, I'm controlling his hips, right? Where now I can start to punch. But if I'm like this, I don't have much of anything anyway, but it just makes it easier for him to get out, okay? So the first one, you snap, he squares. You snap, he squares. You snap, he goes to square, shuck him by, okay? The next option, same thing, but maybe this time, I got the front headlock and Shay's biting down on this real tight, right? This makes it very, very hard for me. And for him, defensively, he can still take me down from here, right? So I don't want that to happen. So when he starts biting down on my arm, okay, the side that I have the chin, same thing, I'm gonna snap, move, snap, move. And then I'm gonna fake and go back the other way. So slowly, I'm here, I snap, boom. Shay's heavy, right? He's almost behind me, I have to square. I snap him again, okay? I snap him, and then I go change hands. So the hand that was in the armpit goes to the chin, the hand that was on the chin comes to the armpit, and I take him back the other way, okay? And just use the numbers 2 or 3 to snap every time, right? 2 times I snap or 3 times I snap, and then I go. Again, the guy that is on bottom, please grab the tricep of the guy on top like Shay's doing, because otherwise it won't work. Don't just grab it, be tight. He's pulling it tight. I snap, boom, snap, boom. Go back the other way and in. Right, so I snap, I square, or he squares. I snap, he squares. The next time I circle, but then I change hands. The hand that was in the armpit comes to the chin. Hand that was in the chin goes to the armpit on the other side. And I just take him back the other way. Okay? So one more time. Snap, boom, snap, boom. Okay, so once I do this motion, once I change hands, right? I have to bring this arm out. Block and go behind.